In this example, we're going to solve this trigonometric equation. We have the cosine of x plus the square root of 3, and that equals negative cosine of x. And these values of x for which we're solving will be in the interval 0 to 2 pi. Notice that this is in radians, so our solution at the end will need to be in radians also. If you'd like to try this problem on your own, go ahead and pause the video and then come on back and we'll work it together. Okay, so looking specifically at this equation here, we have a cosine x here and a cosine x here. So in order to solve for cosine x, we kind of need to isolate them on one side. So let's go ahead and subtract cosine x from both sides of the equation. Over here on the left, those cosines will cancel, and I'll have just the square root of 3. And on the right side, I'll have negative 2 cosine of x. Alright, so to finish isolating our cosine of x right here, let's go ahead and divide by negative 2 since we were multiplying. So those will cancel and I will have negative square root of 3 over 2, and that will equal my cosine of x. Okay, so what value of x, or at what angle that when I take the cosine of it will I get a negative and a square root of 3 over 2? Well, let's consider just the square root of 3 over 2 part first, and let's find that reference angle. So the cosine of theta is the square root of 3 over 2. We'll use theta as our reference angle here. And I know that that's going to take place at 30 degrees. Okay, so here's our reference angle. But where is cosine negative? Okay, well, cosine will be positive in the first and the fourth, which means it'll be negative in the second and third. Okay, so let's make that a little bit bigger, get a better view of this. So here is our x-axis over here, our negative x-axis, so this is 180 degrees over here. And so if we're dealing with the second and third quadrants and our reference angle is 30 degrees, we always move from or measure from the x-axis. So we'll be going up into the second quadrant and down into the third quadrant. So I'll be subtracting 30 degrees and adding 30 degrees to find those values. So I can see that x will be 180 minus 30, which is 150 degrees, and 180 plus 30, which will be 210 degrees. The problem is, of course, these are in degrees, and we need our final solutions to be in radians. So let's go ahead and say x equals, and we know that this is going to be 5 pi over 6 for the 150 degrees, and 7 pi over 6 for my 210 degrees. So here are the two solutions that I'll have for this original trigonometric equation.